Australian Defence Force and Indonesian Armed Forces are conducting humanitarian assistance and disaster relief evacuation scenario on today, November the 15th, 2024, at Situbondo Regency in East Java. Both militaries are conducting a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief evacuation scenario involving the rescue of civilians from Banongan Beach into HMAS Adelaide. So this exercise is part of Keris Woomera Joint Military Exercise 2024 between Australia and Indonesia. Keris Woomera is also part of Indo-Pacific Endeavour 2024, which is Australia's largest military activity in the region. To know the details about humanitarian assistance and disaster relief evacuation scenario, joining with us Colonel Cut Finger of Australian Defence Force. Colonel Finger, thank you so much for setting aside your time with Southeast Asia today. So my first question is, why is it important to conduct a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief in this joint military exercise?
Importantly, both Indonesia and Australia are two nations that coexist, have one of the longest borders in Southeast Asia and Southwest Pacific. Importantly, along that border, a number of disasters can occur through either volcanic eruptions or inclement weather or cyclones. Incredibly important that we as two nations, particularly through our military, can operate together in times of need or times of crisis with humanitarian assistance or disaster release, to come together militarily in order to aid the civilian population if required.
So how much troops or personnel are conducting this evacuation process, and what are the goals of this evacuation process?
Today we have about 140 soldiers of both the Australian Defence Force and also the TNI conducting the non-combatant evacuation operation today. A non-combatant evacuation is when a military is deployed into a crisis or an affected region. Today it's a humanitarian disaster relief operation, and what you see before you is what we call an evacuee handling centre, where we are processing evacuees, we're confirming identification, we're providing world-class medical support and preparing them to be evacuated via naval vessels.
All right, so can you please tell us regarding the scenario of this humanitarian assistance and this disaster relief evacuation process? What are the scenarios?
The scenario you see here today is a disaster relief from a inclement weather situation, where it could be a cyclone or a volcanic eruption, where the two militaries are coming together for this military operation. What we do is we deploy both our forces in a bilateral manner from a naval vessel to shore. We secure this location as you see before you, and we move out to what we call evacuee assembly areas to move and to get evacuees into those locations, identify who they are, bring them back to this location so they are safe, provide them medical care, ensure they are prepared to be evacuated either via aircraft or, in this scenario, across the beach, back to a landing craft to our naval vessels waiting just offshore.
All right, so this humanitarian assistance disaster relief evacuation is part of Keris Woomera Joint Exercise between Indonesia and Australia. So can you please tell us regarding this one?
Yeah, so Keris Woomera is one of the largest exercises that TNI and the Australian Defence Force has ever conducted. It'll occur over the 7-day period. We've already conducted the Amphibious landing, and we're going to conduct a live fire exercise in 48 hours' time. But what you see today here is one of those activities being the non-combatant evacuation operation. Importantly for these type of operations, we conduct these routinely within our region, whether it's the Southwest Pacific or Southeast Asia. So really it's a real-time activity to ensure that we as two nations can come together if required for humanitarian assistance operations or post-disaster relief, where we can effectively operate together in a safe manner and serve both our nations' interests.
So this is also part of Indo-Pacific Endeavour 2024. So how this exercise can maintain the security and also stability for Indo-Pacific region?
Look, I can't speak to the policy around Indo-Pacific Endeavour, but I can talk to you what we're trying to achieve through Keris Woomera, which is enhancing Australia's reputation as a partner of choice, but more importantly, increasing and enhancing our interoperability with the TNI to ensure that we can work together in the future, whatever our nations requires of us. And what you see here is actually working together at the lowest levels to be fully integrated to conduct the non-combatant evacuation operation.
All right, Colonel Cut Finger, thank you so much for setting aside your time with Southeast Asia today. Thank you, Colonel Finger. That's our chat with Colonel Finger of Australian Defence Force. And as I said earlier, this exercise will bring civilians from Banongan Beach to HMAS Adelaide. So HMAS Adelaide is the Royal Australian Navy's largest class of ship, and the landing helicopter dock main role is provide support for humanitarian and disaster relief evacuation. And Sea today has the opportunity to get into the ship also to see what's inside the HMAS Adelaide. Reporting from Situbondo Regency East Java, Fahrian Bahri and Reza Anindita Ramadan for Sea Today.